Hey, it's Angel Alba from the Metal Summit. We are live. We are rocking with none other than Thomas G Waite. Man, just want to say thank you so much for joining us. How's everything going?
Everything's going great, Angel. How you doing?
I'm awesome. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years since we did our last interview.
Was it 6 years ago?
Yep.
Wow. So that would be 2020?
Yeah.
2020?
Yep.
Was it before the pandemic?
Yep. Right before it.
Wow. A lot has happened since then. I wrote a lot of songs during the pandemic. There wasn't much else to do, was there?
No, I know that you mentioned even back then when we did our interview that you actually do music. So now you have this record that is coming out. So you're having the record release party next Tuesday, the 17th at 9 p.m. with doors opening at 7:30. And again, get your tickets now. So you're having the record release party. So what can people expect?
Okay, so it's at the Cutting Room, um, which is the address is 44 East 32nd Street, I believe.
Yep.
And the Cutting Room is a very classy place to play. I don't know why they let me there, but no, I'm just kidding. Chris Noth is a friend of mine, Mr. Big from Sex and the City, and he owns, he's part owner of the club. And I asked him if I could have the release party there, and he said, sure. He's been very generous in that regard. And so, yeah, this album is called Heartbreak Waits, eponymously named for the band Heartbreak Waits. Waites. Heartbreak Waits. And the title song is called Heartbreak Waits. The name of the album is called Heartbreak Waits. And it's music for people that have had their heart broken.
Hey, we can all relate to that.
Yeah, right. And what to expect? Well, we do have a component of protest music going on. And I will say that right up front because we're very upset, about what's going on in our country with regard to the treatment of our fellow Black and brown brothers and sisters. I am outraged and infuriated, and the only way I can express myself right now about it is through my music. So I have several protest songs in the set. In fact, I don't want to give too much away, but it kind of opens and closes in that regard. And then there's a song in the middle about, bringing us all together, which I think is really, really important, because they want us to be divided. They want us to hate people that are different from us. They want us to hate people that think differently from us. They want us to think that you and I are different. Okay? Because your ancestors were born closer to the equator. Mine were born in Scotland and Ireland, and we have, red, pale skin. And they want us to believe that that makes us different. And we're here to say that we're all the same and that we all deserve the same treatment.
Yeah, look, like yesterday, during the snowstorm, neighbors, coming together to help each other out, get
How
jumping.
about that?
That's what it's all about,
That's what
loving.
it's all about, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Einstein, maybe the smartest man to ever live. They asked him, "What's the purpose of life?" And he goes, "I guess it's to help other people."
Oh,
And think about that. Think about that for just a moment. That probably the smartest guy to ever live, who solved equations you and I can barely add two and two. He solved equations incomprehensible to the human mind. He created quantum physics. He created so many things that I don't understand or pretend to. But one thing I know is plain English. What is our purpose here? To help lift up other people. And if it means going to your next door neighbor and helping him shovel his driveway, or bringing him or her groceries because they can't get out because they're, perhaps in, feeble, or you know, uh, bedridden, or housebound because of an illness or age, that we're there to reach out our hand to hold each other up.
mm,
We talked about this way back in the 60s and 70s when I was a kid growing up, and I believe we made a lot of progress in that direction. And, gay marriage was sanctioned. We had a black president, one of the better presidents we've ever had. I mean, he made mistakes like everybody, but now we're paying for that because all of this stuff that's going on in the country is based on racism. Do you want to know that every year they have an annual governor's dinner at the White House? All the governors from every state are invited
yep.
to discuss with the president the problems or solutions in their state. The one governor that wasn't invited was the black governor from Maryland, Wes Moore.
Wow.
Now, you tell me what kind of statement that makes. How would that make you feel? And it outrages me. It infuriates me. It makes me livid with anger, and I, don't want to end up in Rikers Island, so I write songs instead. And they're great songs too, man. You find me a bad song on my album, Heartbreak Waits. You can download it on Apple Music. You find me a bad song on there, I'll give you $1,000. Find me one. I dare you. Now, it's not heavy metal.
All right.
It's Americana,
All right. And
folk music.
and we all like that because I remember, well, back when we used to do camp, before internet and all that stuff. A couple of guitars, campfires,
It
and
brought people
just making
together.
right. We
Brought
just making
people,
sport.
yeah, just play three chords and this land is your land, this land is my land, right? I mean, whatever the song is, just sing together, be together, breathe together,
Mhm.
and don't let your heart get broken by this administration,
No,
because they're out to break us. They're out to destroy this Constitution and um, to pit us one against the other, as if you're not an American, because you think differently than me. I can respect a conservative. I can respect a Republican. I cannot respect anyone that follows Trump. He's a bad guy, man. He's a bad guy. And what's coming out in these Epstein files, whew, I mean, come on. I like sex, maybe even kinky sex, just as much as the next guy. But children, mate,
no, that's one thing you don't.
come on. If anybody ever touched my daughter when she was growing up, I don't care. I'd go to prison the rest of my life. I'd kill them. You don't touch children.
No,
But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. The subject is our music. It's music that brings people together. It's music that makes people feel good. It raises the vibration
mm.
in the room. A lot of 60s type harmonies, and
Man,
it's simple.
I miss that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the whole thing now with how they produce music and tape things together. I prefer
Come
like
on.
the
How about
songs.
an original idea?
Yeah.
We do a cover, though, of Eve of Destruction by Barry McGuire. I don't know if you remember that song.
Very well. No, I don't remember that one off the top of my.
Maybe you can look it up, but it's a great song, and we took it and spruced it up a little bit for today. But it's predicting the end of times, the end of days, and it's only us. It's only the people that are, forget about the Supreme Court. He bought and sold them. Forget about Congress. He has them in his back pocket. And he is so corrupt. I mean, tell me how a guy that's claimed bankruptcy 7 fucking times in business, 7 times he's claimed bankruptcy, would be anyone that you would want to run your country. He can't run a fucking bath, let alone a country. But he's in there because he's evil and he's crooked and he steals and he lies and he cheats. And it's bad, man. It's bad. And it's the Democrats' fault because, they should never have allowed Joe Biden to debate with him. That was a crucial error in judgment. Joe Biden should have gone in and said, look, I'm here for 4 years. I'm going to get out. Let's groom somebody else to take over a good and Kamala Harris would have been a great president, but they never gave her a chance. They never. I mean, she had 7 months to run for a position that many people spend years and millions of dollars doing. She's dedicated her life to service and protection and people's rights, and he's just such a child. I mean, the guy from Venezuela makes fun of him dancing, and he invades the country.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He killed 132 people. What if that was your brother? What if that was your mom or dad? For what? Because he was mad? I mean, it's insidious. And he wants to take Greenland. Yeah, I like your car too, Angel. Can I take it?
Nope.
Right. I could maybe ask you to buy it, but if you say no, that's your prerogative. It's your car.
Right.
Right. What happened to human decency? You're too young to know about this, but back in the 50s, there was a thing called the McCarthy hearings. And it was a little-known junior senator by the name of Eugene McCarthy. And he got on this kick about everybody's a communist. There are communists all over Hollywood. And many Hollywood people were threatened, big stars. Congress basically said to them, you come in front of us and tell us, have you now or ever been associated with a communist party? That means, have you ever been to a meeting or known anyone that's been to a meeting? And many people said, I'm not telling you. And they lost their careers. A few people sold out, of course, named names. And then finally, the thing became so ridiculous that a lawyer by the name of Irvine Welsh stood up and looked at McCarthy and said, is there no such thing as decency left, Mr. McCarthy? And for some reason, that statement broke the back of the whole movement. McCarthy ended up drinking himself to death in a mental institution. He died. The whole thing was a hoax. There were no communists. There was no communist overtake. It was all a witch hunt, the true meaning of a witch hunt.
Right.
But it was broken with that one sentence. Is there no such thing as human decency left? Why can't we, go out every day and try to be a better dad, be a better brother, be a better friend, a better guitar player, a better bandmate, a better actor, a better acting teacher, a better person. Why can't we focus on that instead of harm? Why do I have to put you down to make me feel better?
Right.
That's not the calculus that's going to make our planet survive.
That's a good point, 'cause I remember hearing about, well, yesterday with the singer from Three Doors Down. Some of the singers that are younger were saying how, he always uplifted them, with the songwriting, hearing them. He could have said, "Not this, it's not good," but he worked on that, and I think that's like a good legacy for anybody to have. That you were a good person, that you uplifted.
And
That's what
that
I
you help
would.
the guy out, that you help the guy, if you can help someone, if you can lift another person up. And look, I'm not saying you have to go around giving out dollar bills. I mean, that's not going to help anybody.
Right.
But does it kill you to smile? Is it going to cost you anything to open a door, especially for an elderly person? Is it going to kill you to allow somebody ahead of you in a line because they might be in a hurry? Is it going to kill you to get out of the way on the sidewalks on an icy day so that an elderly person can walk by? You know,
No, because you're always like in a rush and I'm like, slow down. Like, if
take it
somebody
easy.
cross the street, let them cross the street.
Piano piano, as they say in Italiano. Piano piano. Take it easy.
Exactly. Definitely want to talk about who's in your band.
Okay.
Um,
So let me begin with our world-class guitar player, Tony Daniels. He's also our producer and our musical director. It's why the album sounds as good as it does. His birthday also happens to be tomorrow, along with my wife's. It's just really ironic. And you ask anybody. I mean, he's played with the best. He can play any kind of music from any time period. He listens to a song for less than 10 seconds and he's already picked it up. Like he's a great musician.
yeah.
And, I'm really lucky to have him. I can't believe that he enjoys my music to the point where he supports me as he does, but I'm very grateful for it. And then we have a brilliant young keyboard and cajon player. I'm really not into the drums in modern music. Okay. I'm sorry. I've heard so many drums that I'm ready to lose my marbles. They're always too loud and they always play way too much, in my opinion, and take away from the song. I mean, it was okay in the 70s, but I so instead of using drums, we use a cajon,
Oh,
and he plays cajon and keyboard simultaneously. So he plays the cajon with his left hand, the keyboard with his right, and he's probably the best vocalist in the band. He has a range like wow. I mean, if David Bowie and Brian Wilson had a kid, it would be Cedric Allen Hills, our keyboard player. He's an absolutely positively brilliant young musician, and we do some of his songs. And I'd like to point out at this moment, one of the great things about my band is that it's not just about Thomas G Waite. I mean, I'm the front man because, well, just because I am. I've done some things. People know who I am. I'm a good leader, but really, everyone gets a chance to highlight their talents. We put the spotlight on every single person at one point or another during the act. It's not all about I, me, I. It's about us. The same message that we're trying to deliver. And then we have a fourth member of the band, a dear friend of mine, a female vocalist named Annie McGovern, who is an actress that I've had the honor to direct in several off-Broadway productions. And she's been a good friend of mine for a long time. I know her family very well. She's a beautiful redhead with a soprano voice, and she sort of puts the top on the harmonies, and she has a couple of solo moments herself. I've written a couple of songs for her to sing, and brings the house down. You know, we were doing a sound check at 11th Street Bar, you know, back in January. And so, you know, I love sound checks. You know, I want to hear what we sound like, you know. So I do a song, I do another one. There's a few people at the bar, not many, but they don't make a sound. Annie does her song, and the drunks at the bar were like, "Yeah, wahoo, me, not a word." So that's our band, and we're seeking, you know, proper representation, because right now I do all the booking through whatever connections I have, and I produced the album in the sense that I paid for it, but Tony actually produced the music, and we self-released it, and you know, we're hoping to get some attention from people because I believe we have something very important to say, and America needs to hear it. In fact, the world needs to hear it. You know, look out for the other guy.
True. Will people be able to buy the physical copy of the CD?
Yeah, you'll be able to buy a CD there at the gig. You know, it's like nothing, like 25 bucks or whatever it is. But you'll be able to buy one there. And then soon we'll have vinyl available. And then both will be available on my website, heartbreakweights.com.
Mm.
We're setting that up now where you can purchase it directly online.
Yeah, because everybody loves vinyl for some reason. I
I
noticed.
know it's made a huge comeback, and I got to get it ordered, and we're in the process of checking out prices and so forth. You know,
Yeah, because luckily, I think my car is one of the last cars that still has like the CD player because it's a 2014.
I know
I think that my
nobody
car,
has CD players anymore, but you
yeah,
can download it on Apple Music also. The only music it's not on, it's on every platform except Spotify. Why? Because they advertised for ICE, and
oh,
I want no parts of anything I've ever done. Anything that I've ever done before this, I've had removed from Spotify because I'm very much in opposition to ICE, what it's done, what it's doing, and what it continues to do under this administration is not just wrong, it's evil. And the fact that my tax dollars are going to support it, just, I'm vituperative with rage. There's a word for you.
that's my co-host, Jay Oakley.
Thank you, Jay. John Carpenter's a great guy. You'll be happy to know he's not just a great director. He's a great guy, and I've you know, I wrote and directed my own film. It's called Target. It's a playful sex comedy available on Target. I mean, on Amazon Prime. And when John helped me, like during the shooting and during the editing, I would call him up. You know, a crisis would happen, a light would go out, and I'd call up John. I'd be like, "John, what the fuck do I do?" Walk, take a deep breath. Now, let's try to remember what you love about cinema. Let's talk about, like, it would get my mind off of my problem.
Right.
And then several times I had questions about the edit. You know, should I, this shot is better for this, that shot's better for the composition. and he would say, always go with the composition. Always go with the composition of the shot. So, long story short, I finished the movie, final cut. I overnighted it to John on a Friday. And by noon, he sent me an email, and I have it memorized. I don't even have to look at my phone. Dear Tommy, I watched your movie. I liked it. It was funny. You sure got a lot of value out of that production. Do you need an agent to help you sell it? Love, John. Mate, if I get no other accolades the rest of my life, I'll take it.
Yeah, especially, I mean, all the stuff that he's done.
He's a great horror director. He's a great director. He's a great director. You know, and I've worked with some great directors in my career. And John's definitely up there with the top three. One of them was a theater director. The other one was the great Norman Jewison. You're probably too young to remember. He directed In the Heat of the Night, Fiddler on the Roof. Norman Jewison directed many, many films, and Justice for All, a movie that I'm in with Al Pacino. And John, Norman, and this theater director, a black Haitian, was he Haitian? Trinidadian. He was from Trinidad, man. Man, he talked like this, man. The problem with the play. It was great. Those three guys are probably the three best directors I've ever worked with. And when you work with a great director, it's like playing with a great musician, you know, it makes you better because you have to try harder. I think the best artists are the ones that inspire you, you know, to practice more, to play more, to write more, to do more, to learn more. You know, learning is the one thing you can never do too much of. You can eat too much, you can drink too much, you can sleep too much, you can fuck too much. You can never learn too much. Nobody ever died from overlearning.
Nope.
But was that a fan of yours that sent that note just now?
This one is from Chuck. He said They Live What was a great movie.
Yeah.
And Jay just posted thank you. Yeah, he's a big fan of like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that's terrified of them. I'll hide underneath the bed.
I think the thing just got voted into the National Registry for the best films of all time or something like that. I'd have to look up the exact title, but it's some sort of thing that only maybe they pick like 100 movies of all time. It's like one of the, I mean, it's a great film. So what can we do to get your audience out there on February 17th at 9:00 at the Cutting Room, 44 East 32nd Street? What can we do to get them out there? Anything?
Well, I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay.
Want to come out and say hello?
Okay, I will.
It's New York. I mean, there's a lot to do right after the show.
That sounds good.
You can buy the album.
Yep. You can meet me if you have any Warriors or thing paraphernalia. I'll be happy to sign it for you for free.
Yeah, I had to ask you about this, but New England Patriots were kind of embracing that thing with the Warriors.
Yeah.
One of the guys was kind of doing that thing with
Yeah.
So it was just like, wow, like, you know, that's a film
that's the Warriors on a bad day, mate. They were not ready for what they faced yesterday. They were not prepared for the defensive line.
No, they were. I looked at it and I was just shaking my head like,
Well, it was barely a game. They weren't ready. They're not ready.
no.
I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm from Philly originally.
Well, I'm from that area, so yeah.
Where are you from?
I actually grew up in Camden, but I now live in New Brunswick.
Oh, wow. I know Camden. It's a rough neighborhood.
Oh boy, yes it is. I'm glad I moved out.
Yeah, I used to go there when I was a kid. It's a rough neighborhood. We used to get in fights with guys over there.
Gosh, man, I'm totally fine with not ever fighting again.
Yeah, me too. I'm
But
I'm done with that. No thanks.
no, give Pete the chance.
I'll that's right. I'll hug you,
Mm,
but I don't want to punch you.
Me neither. But that's what you have to do, like at the time. But
I mean, everybody's got to defend themselves, I suppose. But it's all this divisiveness and invective and hatred. This has nothing to do with Jesus or Christianity. Believe me, I was raised a strict Catholic. I went to 12 years of Catholic school. My oldest brother was a priest. My oldest sister was a nun. I know from Christianity, okay? Christianity is about one thing: love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's all he came here to say. And they tortured and crucified him for it. But he didn't, there's nothing in the Bible and in the New Testament about abortion or homosexuality. He doesn't say a word about it. These are all man made conclusions
right,
that homosexuality is wrong, that abortion is not a woman's right. This is all men trying to control women. They're afraid of them. That's why they burn them at the stake. They're scared of women's power. I wish women would take over. They do a lot better job than we're doing. We're on the brink of fucking nuclear disaster right now.
they can multitask better than we can.
That's the reality, mate.
I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So.
You and me both.
Just want to go with a final question.
Yep.
As a songwriter, how do you know when a song is done, and how do you know to leave it alone?
That's a really interesting question. And no one's ever asked me that before. Because I have a song, I was just, sharing with my wife this morning. I have a song that I started in 1988, 89, and I didn't finish it till 2013. Because I didn't know what the second half was about. I knew what the A section, B section, I knew what the bridge was. But when I came back around to the A section again, I didn't know what to say. It took all that time for it to gestate. It took all that time for the knowledge to coalesce in my mind what exactly I wanted to say. Now, I've been doing it quite often lately, and I have a lot of new songs. And I sort of know when it's done by playing it for Lisa. I go, just sound like it's finished to you? She goes, yeah, it sounds good. When I get her stamp of approval, then I know it's done. But I kind of think it's kind of instinct. I have a song on my website called Bully Boy. How do you stand up to a bully?
Mm.
Does anybody out there know? When I was a kid, I got picked on quite a bit. And there's one thing I know. If you let them, they keep on coming. Blood may flow and you may start running. But one thing they'll know is you are not afraid. And one thing they'll learn is you'll stand up today. And once you stand up to a bully, Even if they beat the shit out of you, they leave you the fuck alone.
Yep, I learned that growing up in Camden. That's one thing I learned.
I learned that too.
You
I
could
got
run, but at some point you got to stop running. And
3 broken noses. My teeth were all chipped and busted. It was paramount. It was doing the Warriors. They fixed my teeth
oh,
because they were broken from getting punched.
damn.
Yeah, we grew up in the same basic. I'm no tough guy. Believe me, I don't pretend to be. Just, you know how it is. If people can, they'll pick on you,
True.
especially bullies. Like Trump is a bully. He's a big bully.
Yeah.
And, he's in a position now where he can bully other people, arrest them for no reason, separate families, separate mothers from their children. And I don't want to go off on my resentment toward him because, it's like Bad Bunny said, we cannot defeat them with hatred. Hatred cannot defeat hatred. Violence cannot defeat violence. Only love can win. And I thought that was so beautiful at the Grammys when he made that acceptance speech. He said, we are not animals. We are not rapists. We are not murderers. We have families. We're people just like you. And one thing he said, and I'm paraphrasing, is we can't defeat them by becoming like them. We have to defeat them with love. And do you know in the halftime show yesterday who that little boy was that he gave his Grammy to?
Yep, that was the 5-year-old that was taken.
Abducted by ICE.
Yep.
And finally forced to return him. That kid stopped eating. He got sick. He got depressed. He wanted to die.
Right.
Now he has a Grammy that's probably going to be worth $100,000, $500,000, who knows, given to him. I mean, that was given for him to keep.
Yeah.
That's what life is about, is giving.
Right. And even that's like an example of uplifting.
Precisely. I don't understand one word of Spanish, but I enjoyed his show. He's a great performer. I didn't understand a word he said, but man, I could get into him, man. Musically, I'm in a different thing. I do a different thing. I'm into melodies and harmonies and, more like the 70s, but I respect the man enormously.
Right. Is that how music comes to you, like a melody or?
It will start usually with a phrase will come to my head. Tune. A phrase will come into my head. And then I'll start fooling around with it. Sorry, new strings. Nothing more boring than listening to a fucking guitar player tune his guitar. I'll give you an example. There's a wonderful poet on Facebook by the name of Jackie, Jaci Turner, Turner. And she writes these beautiful poems about what's going on in our country. And she actually got fired. She lost her job for writing these poems. So I contacted her and I said, I usually write the words and music to everything that we do in the band. And so I took her words and I just immediately heard Another shot, another name, and once again they play their game. No pause to ask or more to learn, just point and blame and let it burn. Let it burn, right? So I get the phrase and then the progression comes to me or the melody comes to me. That's how it works with me. That's a song that's on my website. It's called Lines We Don't Cross. Words by Jackie Turner, music by Thomas G Waite. But everything else, I write the words and music to. I get a phrase in it, and it haunts me. The phrase will haunt me until I sit still and listen to it. It'll chase me. I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to sleep. I have to listen to it. This inner voice going, psst, I gave you that line. I gave you that phrase. Write it. Write a song. It's like an inner demon. But it's great. And I'm really glad you're coming to the show. And I look forward to seeing you there.
Yes. Just to remind people, next Tuesday night,
February 17th.
8 days from today. Day after President's Day.
Day after President's Day.
Couple days. You know what? If you really love your significant other and you want to show them how much you love them, don't get flowers. Get tickets to the show. It's on a
Heartbreak
Tuesday.
Waits.
Yeah.
Get tickets to Heartbreak Waits. Bring them to a nice place. The Cutting Room is a classy joint. They have fine dining. They have great seating, great sound system. It'll show your significant other how much you really appreciate them.
And if you're single, still come on down. I'm single.
you may meet somebody there.
You may meet somebody there. Man, I can't thank you enough for your time because it's been so long since we've done an interview. I was like, do you still remember me? We did an interview years back.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, this is so awesome. Can't wait to see you next Tuesday in person. Come on down, get your tickets, go online to the Cutting Room.
Right.
And buy your tickets there. What a nice Valentine's Day gift.
Yes. Great idea. Thank you so much for your time, Angel. You take care, and I'll see you in a week.
Yep, 8 days from now.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Have a good day, yeah?
Yep, well, I'm actually on my lunch, so.
Oh.
All good.
Okay.
Have
a good day at work.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, lad. Take care.
You too.
Bye.